This is the basic camping gear that I take for a multi-day trip. I don't think this is, maybe I don't have everything, but this is most everything. And I'll go through it one by one and point out the relative merits of each of these pieces and just give you give you my experience with each one of them. We'll just start over here. I don't have it out of the bag, but this is a Big Agnes sleeping bag. I think it's a 30-degree sleeping bag, which is fine for me because I go out during the spring, summer, and fall. I don't go camping in the winter, and so it's more than warm enough for the time that I go out. The stuff sack here is a Sea to Summit. It was kind of an expensive one, but I've been caught in heavy rain twice just this season, and it kept it bone dry. So it's something that's really well worthwhile. Okay, so the main star here is the tent. And as you can see, I have a Big Agnes. This is the 3-person Big Agnes tent. I chose the green because if you're going to wild camp, green is a little stealthier than, say, orange or something. Of course, that has a downside, and if you're camping in hunting season, you probably want orange. But anyway, I got the green one. Like I said, this is a 3-person tent, easy to set up, easy to take down. Usually I ride solo, but there's been a couple times when I've had somebody with me, and so if you're going to have 2 people, you want more than a 2-person tent. You want a 2-person tent with room for things that you don't want to have dew on them in the morning or to be in the rain, and so I found this to be just an ideal size. Okay, this is maybe the most important thing in camping. It's the air mattress. I got a Thermarest Neo Air, and it is ideal. It fits with the Big Agnes sleeping bag perfectly. Even though I'm a small person, I got an extra wide because it's like having a bigger bed. And once I learned how much air to put in it, I started off actually putting too much in it, and it was actually too firm. Once I learned to back off on how much air is in it, man, does it make for a comfortable night's sleep. I was surprised at how comfortable it is. So this is a Thermarest Neo Air air mattress, and it has an interesting pump with it. It's just a sack that captures air, and then you squeeze it like like bagpipes or something to inflate the mattress. But really like that. Okay, this is Hike Adventure pillow. Again, once I learned how much air to put in it, it's really comfortable, packs up nice and compact, and these 3 things, sleeping bag, especially the air mattress and the pillow, make all the difference in how you feel on a ride. If you sleep well and if you eat well, your chances of having fun on your ride are much better than if you don't. So those are critical pieces. This is something that at first I thought I wasn't going to get, and now, boy, I'm glad I did. This is a Helinox, Zero lightweight outdoor adventure chair. Anyway, it weighs just a few ounces, and if you're going to do dispersed camping, in other words, you're not going to be in a state or national park or an organized park, and you're not going to have a picnic table there. Literally, this can keep your butt off the ground, and boy, am I glad I had it several times. It literally is someplace relatively comfortable to sit, and it's worth its weight in, it's worth its weight to take along. It's worth taking along. This is what my personal, I guess you call it, adopt kit goes down to. Shampoo, soap, comb, toothbrush, all that kind of stuff, just personal care items, and I can get it all into this little sack here, and I don't think I need to go through that because everybody knows about that stuff. Okay, I use a Pocket Rocket 2 stove, and I have a 750 milliliter Tokes pot to boil water in, and it's compact because there's your stove. I keep a lighter in there. You can put the fuel in there. One of these little canisters seems to last forever. It's amazing how long they last. But Just screw this in here. If I should take the time to put this together, but screw it in there. Set up your stove, and you know you're good to go. Okay? Remember to fold out the handles like I didn't do one time, because you'll burn your hands getting them out. And you can boil this, what is this, 750 milliliters. It'll bring that to a boil in, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes tops. But that's the stove. Something I absolutely cannot do without in the morning is coffee. So I got this AeroPress, I forget what the name of it is. It's the miniature version of the AeroPress, and it's all self-contained. There's your mug, there's your press, and in there, this over out of the way. Anyway, you put your filter in there, down, put your measure of coffee in there. You have to grind it to between medium and fine, and then you pour your water in there and let it sit for a little bit. They even give you a stir stick. You stir, and then you press your coffee. Now you have to do this twice to fill this up once, so I have to go through this process twice, and then I've got my fairly decent size mug of coffee in the morning. Okay, so there's that. Now, water. I do water 2 ways. I forgot to bring it out. If I'm going to be staying in state parks where I know water is going to be available at the end of every day, when I pull into camp, I just take a Nalgene bottle. I think it's I forget how many ounces. I think it's a 64 ounce Nalgene bottle, and I'll fill that up before I leave camp. And that's enough water if I'm just going state park to state park, which is what I'll normally do. Now, if I'm going to go out and do dispersed camping, I have this dromedary bag. It holds 4 liters, and it works well. Now, of course, 4 liters, it's heavy when you if you have it all the way full. But you've got this nice little handle here, and if you hold it like this, then you can pour the water out of it that way into the Tokes pot. And it actually works okay. Again, I only use this if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of dispersed camping and I won't have access to water. Okay. Oh, I forgot this when I was talking about the DOP kit there. This is an Airlight towel. This is one of these super absorbent, I don't know if it's like a ShamWow or what the deal is, but this is a full-size towel, and you think, okay, it's not going to dry me off, but it does. And then, unless it's super humid or raining, this thing, if you hang it out, it'll be dry within minutes. It's really an amazing material. Anyway, it's called this is from Sea to Summit. This is the Airlight towel. So that's another valuable piece of kit. I talked about this in the tools and spares video, but I'm going to throw it in here too. This is a Matador blanket. It's just nice to have something to spread out onto the ground if you're out well, I use it as a tablecloth a lot of times, because you get into camps, and if you have a picnic table, a lot of times they're kind of nasty, old, and they have moss on them and stuff. Anyway, I just use this as a tablecloth, and you spread your stuff out on it, and it works well. It's nice to have. Okay, this little thing here is genius. This is called a Goal Zero crush light. It has 3 intensities. It even has its own little solar cell on here, or you can plug it in with a USB. And I think the brightest intensity, which is pretty bright, will go for several hours. The medium will go for more than 10, and then the low intensity, which is bright enough when it's dark, I think will go for like 35 hours. And it's a crush light because that's how you pack it up. It's just a little disc, and you can hang it from wherever this comes off. You can hang it like this. You can hang it like, however you want to hang it. And this has been nice. Just for general purposes, I bring a skein, I guess you would call it, of paracord, because you never know when you're going to need to, run a line somewhere. Just for general purposes, I always bring a bunch of zip ties because they're just great for tying things together. Oh, another thing that I should mention is rock straps. There's 4 rock straps here. I think I actually have 6 of these. These are like super bungee cords, only a lot better. This is what I bungee the stuff on the back of the bike with, and also on the front of the bike on the rack, and these are great. I think these go out to 42 inches, but rock straps. They're kind of expensive, but man, are they nice to have. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, I think everybody knows what this is. It's a poo shovel. You know, leave no trace. This is really nice. Now it doubles as a saw. It has a serrated edge here. You can even use it as a modified screwdriver. It weighs, I'm guessing, a couple ounces. And anyway, really nice to have. Another thing I always try to make sure I have plenty of is McDonald's napkins. Okay, you can never have enough of these because you need them for all sorts of reasons. Okay, I have those. If you're going to go out into a lot of places where people do, you know, adventure ridings, there are bears or other animals. So it's always a good idea, especially if you're doing dispersed camping, not only to put up a bear bag, which is what this is. This is a rock sock bear bag. There's the sock, and you put rocks in it, and then you heave this thing over, and then you can winch up your bear bag. Yeah, it says rock sock. And my wife bought me this bear attack deterrent spray, you know, commonly known just as bear spray. I carry it with me. It's peace of mind. I've never run into a bear in the wilds. I suppose that I could. Any other kind of, I mean, it'll deter any kind of animal. And anyway, I keep it handy, but we'll probably never need it. Okay, another thing that's nice, of course, is a cargo net. And this is what I use to strap the sleeping bag on top of the hurricane dry bags on the back of the CT-125. Another nice thing to have in camp is camp shoes. Okay, you take your boots off at the end of the day, you put these on. These particular ones just crush up almost to nothing, and you know, it's nice to get your boots off at the end of the day. Okay, so there's that. This at first I thought was kind of an extravagance, but I now wouldn't do a trip without it. And this is a bike cover. I'll try to remember to put up a picture of what this looks like on the bike. But almost every night you're going to have dew. So even if it doesn't rain, you're going to wake up to a basically soaked bike the next morning. If it rains, I suppose it'll be more soaked. And just putting this on just keeps everything nice and dry. And I think this is a small size, and even a small size fits the CT-125 with the 40 liter and the 25 liter dry bags on it. So in other words, I don't have to de-luggage the bike if I want to you know, cover it up. It's just, you know, it takes 2 or 3 minutes to cover everything. And this one's nice because it fits perfectly. You go around the sides, and the little corner scrapers under the foot pegs, this has grommets and they fit perfectly, and it just holds it, you know, even in a strong wind. Okay, this is I won't show the individual items in here, but first aid kit. Definitely bring a first aid kit. Obviously bring insect repellent, bring all reasonable first aid items in your kit. My wife's a surgical RN. She actually custom put this kit together for me, and fortunately I've never needed anything beyond a band-aid from it. Bring an extra plug for your phone in case something happens to the original one. This is one thing you definitely want to have a spare. And so that's basically the basic camping kit. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't bring any food out here, but it doesn't matter what kind of, if you're doing freeze-dried food, there's tons of videos on YouTube, but whatever kind of freeze-dried food you're doing, if you're doing freeze-dried food, for heaven's sakes, have a long-handled spoon so you can, you know, dip down into the bag to stir things up and then eat it. So that's just the basic camping kit. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about for the Big Agnes tent. I went ahead and splurged and got the ground sheet for it that specifically fits the tent. And again, I'm glad I did. This thing's ridiculously expensive, but I'm glad I have it, because a lot of times I'm putting the tent up in rocks, gravel, there's sharp sticks, and you don't want to get a hole in the bottom of your tent. So this offers actually quite a bit of protection from the bottom of what is a relatively expensive tent. Okay. One of the most important tools that I forgot to mention when I was talking about tools and spares is having a folding saw with you. They're kind of like a spare tire in that hopefully you don't need them, or you won't need them often, but when you need them really bad. They literally can save a ride, or at least help you avoid a detour of some length. Most of them, the configuration that I see the most and that I use is a simple folding saw. They're anywhere between $25 and $150. Just have a latch on them. You unfold them, and you can go. I think this is a 14-inch. So you can go through a pretty decent sized tree trunk with this, or certainly a branch. And again, this can make the difference between you backtracking for quite a ways, or even having to pull out of a ride if something's impassable and there's no workaround. Usually you can figure out a workaround. But anyway, this can literally save the day. This can keep you from getting to camp way later than you originally anticipated by being able to continue on a ride. Anyway, a folding saw, I always take this one on every ride, and I wrap it in a towel to keep it from ripping up everything, and I put it in a 25-liter duffel bag, and it's like a spare fuel. It's a great peace of mind. So this is the full rig. This is what the bike looks like with the multi-day camping pack on it. Depending on the trip and what I'm taking and the specific configuration, this will go between 50 and 60 pounds. That includes water and spare fuel. But the luggage is all Nelson rig, as you can see. I like Nelson rig because it's moderately priced. It's not the quality that Moscow Moto is, or that Tusk is, or that other brands are, but it suits my needs. I do 2 or 3 big trips each riding season, and it's worked well. I've gotten caught in some really nasty rainstorms and nothing's ever gotten wet. So anyway, it's good enough for me, and it works well. It fits on the bike well. So 8-liter tank bag for all things that I'm going to need frequently and immediately. And then the big bag is a 30-liter dry bag. I have a 25-liter dry bag, and then I cargo net my Big Agnes sleeping bag to the back of that, and it all works pretty well. Mostly in the 30-liter dry bag is the camping stuff. The Big Agnes tent, and again all the other camping gear. In the 25-liter dry bag, I call it the garage because that's where all the tools and spares go, plus overflow from what won't fit in this bag. Of course, food. I generally will have my water in there, my 4-liter dromedary bag. Spare fuel goes in the 25-liter, in the bottom of the 25-liter bag. I do have holsters to mount it externally on the bike, but I've not had to use them yet. I've always had enough room in the dry bag. So this is the configuration, and it works pretty well. I've only had the sleeping bag bounce off of here once. Was running Old Bucktown Road, the rock garden, outside of Ellijay, Georgia, when I was doing the green section on the Smoky Mountains 500, and got bronking around a little bit too much, and it came out from under the cargo net. But that's the only time, and went back and picked it up, and didn't have any more difficulties. There's so many configurations of luggage depending on your needs that will fit on a Trail 125, but this is the one that works for me. And again, these bags are pretty moderately priced and they seem to be well made. You know, I've used them for quite a while and I haven't really had any issues with them. This is the configuration of the CT125 for day tripping. I always have the tank bag on it because I always need that to put, you know, necessities and quick access stuff in. You know, insect repellent. I'll keep my drone in there sometimes if I'm gonna do drone photography. You know, just all sorts of stuff. I keep Leatherman tool in there. Just anything that I think I'll need to get at quickly and frequently. As far as luggage, this has proven to be ideal. This is a Nelson Rig Duramax tail bag. I forget how many liters it is, but it's an ideal size. As you can see, it fits easily on the rear rack of the CT125. And this will hold all the tools and spares that I need. Everything that I would normally carry on a multi-day camping trip in the 25-liter dry bag will fit in here with room to spare. Also, this has a zipper at the top, so it's expandable. I actually can get my full-size helmet in there if I expand it and still zip it closed. So I can get all my tools and spares in here, plus food, you know, snacks that I might want during the day. It just works really well. It's easy on, easy off the bike, and it's proven to be great. If we're doing two up on the other CT125, this also fits on the rear rack and still leaves room for the pillion seat, the passenger seat. So it's just kind of a quick and easy setup and carries everything that we need, and it's just a nice day tripping package.